This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Kanam. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Planet Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. 2 T-minus now it's time 1 for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love space. Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surf Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Kanam. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Planet Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. 2 T-minus now it's time 1 for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love space. Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surf Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS Store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS Store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS Store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com. Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS Store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS Store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS Store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com. Hi.
Bringing the puck are the Magicians. Here's Easton Bennett out to center. Back to Vial, then Bennett. Bennett's in with the top of the circle. Bennett cruising in front onto the backhand. Vial turns it to the forehand. He scores!
This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Colby Eds handling, whistling, firing into the glove. Oh, he scored! It's 2-0. Eds tattoos at home, and the Magicians lead 2-0.
A growing tradition.
Here's a drive, he scores! And it's a hat trick for Hayden Schwartz. Tic-tac-toe play evasive. Morelli with the backhand, slips it past the netminder. Here's Martell, a drive, he scores! Martell, Bukes, and the Magi are on the board with a power play. 40 seconds in OT, a drive coming back door. Bukes scores! Snug gets her out of that ball, getting fired. He scores!
With one goal in mind.
And the Magi hang on the face-off, one back to the Knights. Iron High is winning the state title. They have won the state championship.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surf Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Taken by ends up the near side. Waltz Easton Bennett, he's in shorthanded. Bennett's going to step in. Bennett backhand drive. He scores. Easton Bennett makes it 3-2. Young nasty man down to an E. Shoots the arrow into the sky. You betcha. Point number 60 for Easton Bennett.
Now let's join Nick Holberg, the voice of Magi Hockey, for the Planet Pizza pregame show.
2017-2018 North Dakota high school hockey season starts today for the Minot High Magicians and the Grand Forks Central Knights. Good afternoon and welcome to the Pepsi Rink here at Mesa Arena for this afternoon matchup. The East vs. West showdown, and it's a rematch of last year's state semifinals where Minot High fell to Grand Forks Central. Central last year, of course, was 27-0. They went on to the state championship. The Magi, on the other hand, they took fourth in the state after a nice run where they finished number 2 in the West region. It's a rematch also of the 2015 state championship game where the Magicians won their first state title since 1992. 2015 to 92, that's a 23-year drought for the Magi. They got it done against the perennial powerhouse Grand Forks Central. And today it's a rematch on Minot's home ice. These two teams started the season against each other last year. That was a game at the Purple Arena that the Magicians and Odin Nelson would like to forget about. It was Grand Forks Central that absolutely steamrolled the Magi on their home ice, 10-0. Odin Nelson saw 38 shots in the hockey game. He stopped 28 of them. Central went on to cruise in that one. We'll hear from Grant Paranika, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights. We'll hear that at intermission. He talks about that season last year for Grand Forks Central and how dynamite they were. They had 8 players on that roster that went on to play junior hockey. 2 Division I commits out of high school coming from Grand Forks Central. That tells you how good Central was last year. Minot High, well, they had a couple guys that went on to play juniors. Easton Bennett, he's up in Steinbach, Manitoba, playing junior A hockey. And, of course, Colby Eds stays here for his senior season, but he's not playing for the Magi. He's playing for the Minot Minotauros of the North American Hockey League. This is the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza has the area's ultimate party location. They also have the largest laser tag playground in the region. Planet Pizza delivers for free at 701-852-1700. They've been in the Magic City for 20 years. They truly are out of this world. Planet Pizza bringing you the pregame show tonight for the Magi and Grand Forks Central Knights as they go toe-to-toe in the season opener for the 2017-2018 season. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we'll take a look around the state of North Dakota, the season outlook. The coaches have delivered who they think the best in the state will be. We'll hear from Jason Bennett. Then we'll get set for this one as Minot High and Central go toe-to-toe. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
I love
Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Planet Pizza pregame show rolls on for the season opener for Minot High and Grand Forks Central. Here this afternoon from the Pepsi Rink, Brandon McFall, the Zamboni. Fans starting to walk through the doors here at Pepsi Rink. They had a full house in here last night. Not quite a full house. 1,600 were here last night for the Toros against the Brookings Blizzard to watch Colby Eds, former Magi, plays in the back end for the Toros. They fell last night. They led the whole game. And then the Toros saw it slip away in the final 3 minutes. Brookings tied the hockey game. They sent it to overtime, and the Toros fell there in front of 1,600 people last night. They play after this game here tonight, hoping for a better outcome for Minot's Junior A program later on tonight. Planet Pizza delivering pizza for free for 20 years. 701-852-1700. Give them a call now. This is the Planet Pizza pregame show for Minot High Magicians Hockey. When you look back to last year, it was Grand Forks Central that was hands down the best team in the state of North Dakota. That may be the best team North Dakota has ever seen. That's up for debate. But they were good. They went 27-0. They were unbeaten all year long. Nobody even touched them. Grand Forks Red River went 23-4. They finished third in the state. Bismarck High was the second best team in the state. They were 13-0 in the West. They were 21-5-0 overall. Here's how the East Region standings finished up. Central was number 1. Red River was number 2. Fargo Davies was 3. Devil's Lake was 4th, followed by Shanley, Fargo North, West Fargo, and Grafton Park River. In the West region, it was Bismarck High that ran away with it. They were 13-0. The Magi took second in the West. Out of the tournament and on the regular season standings, by the way. They went 10-3-1, 15-10-2 overall. Century was the third place team, followed by Dickinson, Jamestown, Mandan, Botno Rugby, Williston, and Hayes and Beulah. Here in 2017-2018, the coaches have turned in the sheets on who they think the top dogs in the state will be, and they think it's Red River and Grand Forks Central at the top of the list. They also think that Davies will be in the mix, and they also think Minot High and Bismarck High will be right there. We'll hear from Jason Bennett, the co-head coach of the Magi, in just a moment. We'll hear his thoughts on if those numbers are right. We'll hear his thoughts on what to expect today in the season outlook for the Magi as well. You're listening to Magicians Hockey on 1390 KRRZ and on YouTube.com. We'll be back with more of the Planet Pizza pregame show in just a moment.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Planet Pizza. All systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surge Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Back to the Planet Pizza pregame show. It's time for Coach's Corner. We're now joined by Minot High co-head coach, Mr. Jason Bennett. First of all, feels good to be back in the locker room here for another season of Magi Hockey. Welcome into 2017, 2018. How was the offseason for you?
It was good. It came quick. It seemed like the season kind of snuck up upon us, and here we are. We had, an early snowstorm, and now it's beautiful weather. So it's hockey season's earlier. Now it's warm out, but we're excited and ready to get going on the season.
Let's talk about last year a little bit. And when we look back to 2016, 2017, the big thing for me again is another win in the first round of the state high school hockey tournament, and the Magicians on the map again. You guys end up in that region title match against Bismarck High, finishing number 2 in the West region. Overall, your thoughts on last year? Pretty good year, but you lose quite a bit this year.
I think so. I think it was, obviously your goal is to, win a state tournament, and I think our goals the last few years is to get to that semifinal game Friday night at the state tournament. We've done that 3 of the last 4 years, and it's got to start somewhere. It builds from that. We've been in the West Region Championship game, I think probably 3 of the last 4 years as well. So we're moving in the right direction. We got a lot of kids returning this year that played a lot the last 2 or 3 years. So we're excited about the veteran leadership we bring back. We got some young guys that can scoot as well. So we're really excited about the season.
I talk about losing some this year, and what I'm talking about is your son, Easton Bennett. He had 61 points last year. He's off playing junior hockey up in Canada. Colby Enns, he's a senior in high school this year, but he's playing for the Toros here in Minot. He had 34 points last year. What's this team going to be like without 2 of those guys that have been household names for the past few years?
We've kind of had that. We've kind of had, I wouldn't say superstars, but we've had, guys that we could lean on late in games that we know, are going to come through with some big goals the last few years, whether it's Matt Flom or Quinn Fuchs or Morelli or Easton and Colby. This year, I think it's going to be scoring by committee. We got Jakey Vile back this year, and he had a really good year last year. So, we're looking to lean on him. We're looking to lean on Patrick Hyde, who was an All-Stater last year as well. So we're going to hope we get, 8-10 guys that can each chip in with between, 8 to 12 goals, and we'll probably maybe not going to have a guy that has 60 points this year, but we'll get a lot of guys that have 30.
Talk about the back end a little bit, and a big topic of conversation when we're talking about the sport of hockey is goaltending. Odie Nelson, if he can finish, if he can start the year the way he finished last year, it was kind of impressive seeing him as a sophomore kind of develop into a player that you could kind of count on maybe at the state tournament and in the region games. What do you look for out of Odie this year? How is he looking in practice, and is he a kid that can get it done for you this year for the Magi?
Yeah, we're hoping so. We're gonna lean on him heavily here to start the year. He's going to be pushed a little bit more. We have a little more depth in goaltending than we did last year. Odin was put in a tough situation last year. We had some ineligibilities, and he was forced to play every game and didn't really have a night off. But if you look how he ended last year, double overtime, triple overtime game, whatever it was against Century, played wonderful in the state qualifier game, played really well in the first round game at state against Davies, played great in the semifinal game against Grand Forks Central. So that's the old Nelson we need, a kid that's calm and collective. When things start to maybe go south for him and he loses focus a little bit, that's where he struggles. And it's our job to keep him in check in those aspects. And if he can do that and keep his head, I think he'll be in good shape this year.
You got Broughton back on the point. He's going to be the captain of your hockey team this year with Hyde back there as well. Talk about this back end. You guys, looks like on the back end, defensively, you can have some guys back there that you can probably count on.
We do. We returned 4 defensemen, and 3 of them are seniors, and Hertz is back as well, and he's a junior. He played a lot for us last year, and it's good to have that. Every year you lose some, but you bring back some, and we're fortunate to bring back 4 really good defensemen. This year with Hyde, as I mentioned earlier, being an all-stater, and Broughton has really developed immensely over the last 3 years that he's been with us. So we're looking for those two to kind of be a shutdown pair. We're going to start with them together and let them maybe not work themselves out of it, but they got to prove they can play together and not separate them. And so we're excited about that as well.
Looking at the roster, boy, my eyes lit up and I got a smile on my face. Looks like there's a kid on the team by the name of Philly, and talk about him a little bit. Is he going to be an impact player here in his early goings? Is he anything like the old man?
You think so? I alluded to earlier, we have a couple sophomores, Philly and Murphy kid. They're not the biggest kids, but we haven't had sophomores that are small and fast since we've probably seen Chaplesky and Schuster and kids like that a few years back. So we're excited. We're going to pair them with Brett Davis, who's kind of our big power forward who's been injured the last couple of years. But we know Davis in the right spot on the ice can score goals, and that's where we're going to count on him and let those 2 little water bugs kind of do the dirty work. And it's just tradition. We're starting to get now second, third generation kids in here, and to have the name Phil in, it's big shoes to fill, and he's wearing his dad's Sioux jersey, number 26. So we're pretty excited to have him in the lineup too.
Talk about the matchup today, boy. You draw a big one right out of the gate. Grand Forks Central, a team that in the opener last year spanked you guys pretty bad over at Purper Arena. This is a different Grand Forks Central team this year. It's a different Magicians team this year. What do you expect out of the state predicted number 1 team in North Dakota, and what are you looking for out of the matchup in 51 minutes today?
Hopefully we compete. We weren't ready to play. If anything, we were scared last year, and we had a couple kids that were ready to play, and I think we've kind of made that a point of emphasis last week at practice. It's a good hockey team. They lost a number of seniors. They were undefeated last year, state champs, but, that carries over to some of their underclassmen as well. So I think our guys are going to be ready to go from the puck drop. We need to play fast. We need to play physical, and I think that'll be lead to success for us.
Finally, you guys get a nice matchup to start the year against a non-conference opponent like Mandan the past few years. But the schedule's heavy here at the start of the season. After tonight, Tuesday night against Mandan, and then off to Devil's Lake on Thursday. You like having back-to-back-to-back games in a sense to start the year like this to get you guys rolling?
I think so. Once the season starts, you have the trial process. You got a couple weeks of practice, and you throw in the jamboree, and the season's short. And guys are eager to get going. We added Bismarck High as a non-conference. A non-point game this year, so that's another game we picked up. Mandan, they got a new coach, a Minot guy that's there this year, and it's always nice to get to Devil's Lake. We've had some pretty good battles with them in the past, so it's nice to get going right away, and then we got next weekend off. So put us in a good spot.
Final thing I have for you, predictions across the state of North Dakota to open the season. EDC, Red River, and Central are the teams predicted to be at the top of the ladder. Talking with Paranika, he thinks maybe Davies is in the mix as well. When you look at the West region, Century kind of the clear-cut favorite over here with Bismarck High and Minot High coming in, voting in second in the West region. Overall, it's kind of the same 4 or 5 teams at the top of the ladder this year. Do you see that being the true case this year? Are those numbers across the state, those predictions, are those off? Are they right? They wrong? Where do you see that?
I think so. It's pretty close. I think last year, the beginning of the year, the coaches poll, I think it ended pretty darn close to what it was voted on at the beginning of the year. And I think it's right. I think maybe, in my opinion, Red River maybe has a little bit more returning than Central does. Bismarck High and Century, they have some younger kids, some good talent coming up. Century especially has a couple really good lines, and Davies returns. I think they graduated 2 seniors on. And fortunately for us, we get to play Davies again this year. They come to Minot here in January. So.
Best of luck here today. Thanks for your time. As always, looking forward to the 2017-2018 campaign.
All right, great. Thanks.
That's Jason Bennett, the co-head coach of the Minot High Magicians. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we'll dive further into this matchup. This is Minot High Magicians hockey.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Planet Pizza. All systems go for lunch. Frequent supper times a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surge Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Planet Pizza. All systems go for lunch. Frequent supper times a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. Time for hockey inside the Pepsi rink here at Macer Arena. 2017-2018 Magicians season set to begin in roughly a minute 30 seconds. It's the Grand Forks Central Knights in Minot to take on the Magi from Minot High. You look back to last year, the Grand Forks Central Knights had a player by the name of Grant Johnson. He was Mr. Hockey. 85 points on the year for Johnson. Judd Caulfield had 64. 39 for Cam Olstead. 37 for Bo Bjorgi. Bjorgi's back. Look out, this is a pretty good hockey team. Again, they're predicted to win the state here in 2017-2018. For the Magi, they lost Easton Bennett. He had 61 points on the season. 47 for Jake Vile. He's back for the Magi. Look for him to have a stellar senior season. Colby Eds is gone. 34 points will be missing from his contributions. 31 points for Patrick Hyde. He's back. 22 for Kyler Stenberg. He's back as well. Let's set this one up for you. The Magi will move from the right to the left for the first and the third. The Knights will go from the left to the right for the first and the third. Odin Nelson in a white uniform. White and yellow pads on the right side, the blue paint on the other side. Caleb Johnson in the maroon jersey with the white pads. Splattered with black pepper all over him. He's seen plenty of pucks since his freshman year. He's the starter. We're underway with the Knights carrying into the Minot High end. First shot of the game, stuck away there by Odie Nelson. Minot High in the maroon pants, helmets, and gloves with the white uniforms. Trimmed out in gold and maroon with the big M on the front. Central is in all maroon. They've got a white stripe around the socks on the bottom. Maroon helmets, pants, and gloves. Out of the Minot High defensive zone. They try to push with Vile. He does to center. Here's Stenberg right in front of the Magi bench. Trying to get it to Vile. Went through his skates. He lost it and back in with it. Carrying across is Brandon Holt into the Minot High end. Odie Nelson forced to make a stick save. Turned it aside. Here's a drive coming in front of Nelson. Pokes it to the corner. Knights have control down low. Far side corner. Right side of the radio dial. Away it comes to Patrick Hyde. Muscles his way through and gets it away up to center ice where Murphy carried it ahead. But the Knights pin him in right at neutral ice again, and they're going to try to move it back into Minot High defensive territory. Right at the Minot High blue line, near side wall. Knights with control. They handle now, sent across into the near side corner. It's picked up by the Magicians. They handle again underneath the goal line. That's Patrick Hyde down low. Hyde's going to take it. He tried to move it back up to Murphy to clear it. He couldn't. And the Knights hold it down in the far side half boards. Blocker side of Odin Nelson as Murphy carries the puck across neutral ice, the blue, then the red, then the other blue stripe into the offensive zone, but he lost it. And with 15:30 to play in the opening period, a scoreless game, the Knights just chip it right back in behind Nelson. On the blocker side it comes. Back underneath the net, Zach Peterson battles for it, loose in front of the net. The one-timer comes away, and Adolski hammers it home on a beautiful give-and-go feed. And Central strikes for first blood. They have dominated early in the first 2 minutes of the hockey game, and the Knights with Adolski make it 1-0. Well, not the way the Magi look to start the game here tonight. Let's listen in.
Assisted on the play by skater number 8, William Lawson-Body, and number 9, Tyler Brisky. That's 25 from 8 from 9 at 1:37 of the first.
Out to center ice for the Magi. They try to push it ahead forward thanks to Dan Seb with the call. Moved ahead forward up to the Minot High stripe. A drive comes in. Odin Nelson hangs on to it. And Odin Nelson will put it in the glove with 14:43 to play in the opening period. Face-off coming to the junior net keeper's blocker side. Well, Adolski gets the first goal of the night for Central. They pick up right where they left off. Keep in mind, they haven't lost since the state semifinals 2 years ago. They went 27-0. Kind of like that Red River team from a few years back. Pure dominance over on the east side of the state. Knights handle in their own end. Top of the circle, glove side of Caleb Johnson. Puck came up to the Minot High stripe. Broughton fired it in right to the glove, and it's gobbled up. 14-27 to play here in the opening period. 1-0. Grand Forks Central face off on Caleb Johnson's glove hand side. small goaltender with some of the best numbers you've seen. Johnson last year turned in a 197 goals against average, but this was the more impressive number, a 133 goals against average. Anytime you're only giving up a goal a game, you've got a pretty good shot of winning. Out to center ice, here come the Knights with Zach Murphy into Minot High territory. Murphy center slot, fancy with it. Bergerud lost a handle on it, comes down to the corner of the near side wing, D-zone for the Magi, top of the circle, and it's hammered around the end wall to the far side point. Knights with control again. They just dump it back in behind Odin Nelson. Cycling around, comes to the point to drive in. That one whistled wide off the tape there of Bjorgi. Comes back away to the near side corner. Glove side of Nelson to the far side to Hyde. Tried to get it away to Opposed. He couldn't clear the zone. Comes back away, and Bjorgi dances across the slot with it. Handling now, this is Zach Murphy, rather. He's just going to walk around a bunch of magicians. Comes to Hyde, and Hyde pushes to center now. Bergerud, he's over center ice with a backhand. Bergerud just dumps this one back into the far corner. On the far side wall, Jake File offensive zone underneath the goal line. Puck worked away to the near side wing. Half boards it comes. Pinned up on the wall. The Knights of Murphy trying to push to center. They do. Getting a handle on it. Cole Hansen, he sends it back in behind Odin Nelson, who leaves it back for Peterson. Peterson on the attempt to clear. Moves it up to center. Hits feet. Goes all the way down the length of the ice off of Kyler Stenberg. We're 4 minutes into the first, and it's Grand Forks Central up 1-0 on Minot High, but the Magi in the offensive zone can't control. Back the other way come the Knights into the offensive zone for them. Adulski, game's goal scorer, sent it towards the net. Went wide to the blocker side. Here's a drive on goal. Odie Nelson makes his 5th save of the hockey game. And we'll have a stop in the play. Odie gobbles it up. Blocker side it comes, and the faceoff will be on Odin Nelson's blocker side. Off the draw, puck went back to Hertz. Junior D-man for the Magi. Where's the clear? I-Tech bubble, worked it around the near side wall, got it up over neutral ice, comes back across. Knights with it again, and it's Brandon Holt right back in. Tic-tac-toe went over to Hertz, and Hertz just launches it out to center. Now on center ice, here come the Knights back in them out in high territory, right in front of the Planet Pizza sign. The bench right in front of the Magi, where they sit and look onward. Hyde lost a handle on the puck. He's going to battle for it on the far side wall over there with Hunter Moreland. Hyde won that battle, threw it out to center, but now the Knights bring it right back in. Glove side of Odin Nelson. Magi are going to flip this one 20 feet in the air. It's going to roll all the way down to Johnson on the blocker side. Is it an icing? Yes, they say it is. Special thanks once again to Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location. School parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. Planet Pizza bringing you the pregame show here tonight, as they always do. Face off on Nelson's glove hand. In the dot, comes back to the point. With just wide on the blocker side, comes away to the far side wall. The Magi try to push to center. That's Jack Plemmel that got it out to neutral ice. And now on the rush, try to bring it into the offensive zone for the Magi to no avail. That's Hunter Cope. Johnson's out of the net to play it on the dump in. Puck goes away to the far side wall, and here come the Knights back to center. Over the Minot High stripe on the near side wing. This is Will Howard that sends it back underneath Odin Nelson. Goes away far side. Plemmel trying to clear now. He pushes it to the no zone, right in the center slot, comes back away, and the Knights work it back to the point. Here's Hodgson, near side wing, threw it towards the net. Cope dove in front of it and blocked that shot. Puck goes back underneath the goal line now, where it's Logan Broughton that has a handle on it. Broughton pushes it back over to Peterson on the near wing, and Peterson top of the circle, trying to clear his own end. No, he had his pocket pick, sent in front. One-timer opportunity there for Kanta, and he couldn't make it go. Back over center ice, puck bounces ahead forward. On the forecheck is Nelson, but it's the Knights with control again. It's been complete domination tonight from Grand Forks Central in the early goings. In front of the Minot High goal, glove side of Odin Nelson. Puck goes down to the corner, handled by Hunter Moreland. Out of the Minot High end, away with it comes Peterson. Peterson starts the rush over center ice, gets over the central blue line. Then he lost a handle to it as he was hounded there heavily by two Knights. Magi push it deeper into the zone with the help there of Sam Opposda. No one could find it. Opposda's back behind the net now. Sloppy play here with 10:26 to play in the first. Central ahead by a goal as it's handled in the far corner by Brandon Holt. Holt the way to the near side wing with a backhand. Chips it up the glass. Comes away to Bergerud. Sends it down to the corner, back behind the net. Hunter Moreland was back to retrieve. Comes back away to the near side. Pushed out to center, and now the Knights have it again as Kanta brings it in over the line. And Kanta brings it to the top of the circle. Comes back away down to Patrick Hyde. He moves it forward, and it's Abrahamson into the offensive zone. Tried to feed Hyde. Hyde center slot. Bounced on goal. Johnson took the stick and stuck it aside on the near side wing. And now it's going to come to the top of the circle. Now offensive zone for the Magi. 9:42 to play here in the opening period. Minot High down by a goal, but it's Abrahamson, side of the net. Put it in on the blocker side. To no avail. Puck is freed by the Knights, so they push to center again over their own blue line. Now it goes over center. This one off of Kyler Stenberg, but the Knights have it again at center ice. And with a backhand, it's chipped into the zone there from Zach Murphy. Back behind the Minot High goal. Patrick Hyde has it, looks for the outlet. He's going to spin away from a check to the near side, bottom of the circle. Goes away to the far side. Underneath the goal now. It's going to walk out. A save comes there from Odin Nelson. Picked up by Stenberg, and Stenberg's going to bring it up through neutral. He's in 1-on-4. Stenberg far wing with a backhand, dumps it in. Johnson was out to play it, and it's Jake Vile on the near side, bottom of the circle. Defensive zone for the Knights. They're on the forecheck now as they bring it ahead into the offensive zone. It comes away to Eagle City. Fires one wide of the blocker side of Odin Nelson. Puck's at the top of the circle defensive zone as Hertz works it back deeper into his own territory. Now on the near side wall, Stenberg chips glass. It comes out to center ice, but right there and setting it back in, Adam Arnold sends it right behind Odin Nelson, who's back to retrieve, then Peterson. Far side wall, Murphy tried to clear it, can't. Comes back away underneath the goal line. Parker Strode D-zone for the Magi. Knights with control of the puck. They cycle to the point. Now at the line, there's Murphy with the hit, and the puck is cleared out to center. Nice play there for Murphy to clear the zone for the Magi. Intercepted. Peterson's got it. He's 2 feet off sides, and Peterson had no clue that Murphy was still in the zone after the hit. 8:09 to play in the first. Media timeout. 1-0. Grand Forks Central. The goal for Badalski. We'll step aside for a moment. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Ladies and gentlemen, for somebody in the yellow vest, blue line
Bank and Trust and sports enthusiasts. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surf Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Back to Pepsi Rink, 1-0 Grand Forks Central with just under 8 minutes to go here in the opening period. It's been all Central Knights in the early portion of this one. Puck's back in behind the Minot High net. Nadolski, by the way, had the first goal for Central. Nadolski had a nice year last year for the Grand Forks Central Knights. Picking it up again here in 2017, 2018. He had 13 points last year for Central. Gets the season's first goal for the Knights here in Minot. Odin Nelson was out of the net to stop it back in behind the cage. Patrick Hyde worked it away to Murphy, far side, top of the circle. That's Fillion trying to clear, can't. Drive worked away forward. Fillion still battling for top of the circle. Boy, it's fun hearing that name for the Magi again, isn't it? It's Tom Fillion's son, of course, Mr. Hockey, 1993, 92. They won the state title. Tom Fillion, a big reason why. Knights back in with a glove side of Odin Nelson. Puck's underneath the net, comes away to Will Howard. Taken back up to the point. Across it comes. Hunter Moreland fired it in. That one went wide of Nelson on the glove side. Knights have control again. Under 7 minutes to play. It's 1-0. They're trying to add to their lead. Comes back away on the near side half boards. It's William Lawson Body. It's underneath the net. Body tries to get it in front. Here's a drive coming. That one turned away by Odin Nelson. Then the puck chipped off the glass. It goes up into the seats by Brent Davis. 6:39 to play here in the first. Minot High trailing by a goal. Well, we apologize for the technical difficulties to start our 2017-2018 season here on 1390 KRRZ. We were streaming it, and they just weren't getting it back at the studio, so our apologies. Missed a great conversation with Jason Bennett, the co-head coach of the Magi, a season outlook for the Magicians in the Planet Pizza pregame show. Here's a drive on goal. The stop is made from Nelson. Right in the slot, turning one towards the net was Lucas Cantor, the sophomore. We'll have that interview for you in between the third and the second and third. We'll replay that interview for you. Again, our apologies. And apologies from iHeartMedia. Comes back to the near side line and sent underneath the goal behind Odin Nelson. Minot High defensive zone. It's the Knights with control. They work it away with Cole Hansen. Shots are 7-0 in the early portion of the hockey game. 6:13 to play here in the first. Grand Forks Central leading 1-0. Back away to the far side, top of the circle. Here's the one-timer coming in. That one redirected in front of Nelson. That was a boomer from the line off the tape of Bjorgi. Puck goes back underneath the goal line now with the Knights cycling around. Back away to the near side wing. Stenberg trying to move it away forward on the near side wall. Still pinned up there. Mason Deal down low. Scrums forward as well, but the puck taken by Zach Murphy. Wraparound hooked in front. They scored. Murphy from his knees got it out of the tape for Cole Hansen. And the Knights have made it 2-0 on their 10th shot of the first period. 5:44 left in the opening frame. Zach Murphy to Cole Hansen. Adolski had the first one. Hansen has the second. And Grand Forks Central enjoying the trip over to Minot. We'll listen in to Danny Sim in just a moment. He'll have the goal call for us. We know this much. It's 2-0 Central. Here's Danny Sim.
Even strength goal was scored by skater number 10, Cole Hansen. Assisted on the play by 21, Zach Murphy. That's 10 from 21, 11, 16.
So it was Murphy with an excellent play from in behind the net. He was on his knees, got it away to the front of the net for Hansen. Hit the glove of Odin Nelson, and it's 2-0 Central. Back at the point, Minot High defensive zone, near sideline. Knights have control of it. Taken by Brandon Holton, throw to the corner. Sent in front of the net, comes away to a post down, a scrum for it. Freed down to Patrick Hyde, and Hyde sends it up to center. Here's Logan Broughton. He walks over center ice, dumps it in behind Johnson. Puck bounces off the end wall, comes away to the near side boards, and pushed right back out to center ice by Grand Forks Central. Knights are back over center ice with it. Brandon Holt crosses in. There was a big hit from Patrick Hyde. Look out, the referee almost got taken out on the play. One-timer in front of the net. Tony Nelson went into the butterfly and gobbled it up. That one shot into the breadbasket by Zane Miller, but a nice opportunity. 12th shot on goal for the Knights. 4:45 to play here. The first 2-0. Central leading. Lucas Lamont and Jake Stacker, the linesmen for this game, by the way. Eric Steele and Devin Blada are the referees in charge. Eric Steele got the call just a few weeks ago. He's going to be reffing some North American Hockey League action. Minotoro's game's coming up. Congratulations to Eric Steele. Moving up in the reffing game. Inside the hockey world, that's pretty exciting news for Eric Steele. He's been wearing the stripes for a few years now. Working his way up. Knights back in with it. Here's an opportunity onto the backhand. Save Nelson. Loose in front of the net. Holding Nelson. Rob Zane Miller again. And out to center ice. It's Nelson back the other way from Minot High. He's into the offensive zone. Puck comes away to Hunter Cope on the wall. Sent it into the corner. But it's taken here by the Knights. So they cleared it around to the far side point. Held in there by the Magicians. Across the line it comes. Back to the top of the circle. Nelson fires it on. And Caleb Johnson forced to make his first save of the hockey game. That one a muffin. 3:55 to play in the first. It's still 2-0 Grand Forks Central. Well, I talked to Grant Paranica before the hockey game tonight. He's Central's head coach. He played on the 1987 University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux Hockey Club. They recognized that Sioux team at the Ralph earlier on this year. I talked to him about that. I asked him if he and Ed Belfour had any fun remembering the 1987 championship. You'll love his response. Into the offensive zone. Two players come together. That was Broughton getting together with number 8 on the other side, Lawson Body. into the offensive zone. The Magi bring it back in. Davis tried to make a fancy move, lost the handle on it. Puck's underneath the net, wrapped around to the far side wall. Lost in body back, going to his own D zone over center ice, the red line, then the blue, dumped it back behind Nelson. The net keeper's out to play it, wraps it around the dasher, trying to clear it, can't. Held it at the line nicely there by Hodgson. Knights have control with it underneath the goal line again. Lost in body, far side wall. Murphy trying to clear for the Magi. Now it comes to Fillion. Fillion on the far side, freed it. Puck comes away to the captain's tape. This is Logan Broughton. He clears it up to Davis with a backhand. Gets it to Murphy, and Murphy's in for the Magi into the offensive zone. He's pinned up the near side wall. Knights regain control in their own defensive territory, but the Magi are swarming hard with Murphy. And Brett Davis to no avail. Here come the Knights back in. Here's the opportunity. Murphy on the other side. Turns, fire, save. Oh, what a stop. Odie Nelson commits robbery. That was Murphy in with Wagstrand, and Wagstrand got the rebound after Odie Nelson made the blocker save. Put it back towards the goal. Odie slides across. It says, I don't think so. Two's enough for you. 2:38 to play in the first. The stop of the game so far from Odin Nelson. Keeping it within 2 for Minot High. Shots are 13-1 on the shot clock here inside the Mason Arena. I think they might be off by a few. I think Central may have fired a few more on in this first period than 13. It's been all Grand Forks Central in the early portion here tonight. Look out, puck up into the seats. And a souvenir will find a fan. Well, when you look back to last year for the Knights, they were a team that was a machine, to say the least. You'll hear Grant Paranika talk about that at the intermission, brought to you by Thrifty White Drug. His thoughts on that team. This is how good they were. They had 2 players that signed to play Division I college hockey before they even graduated high school. That's just unheard of in this day and age. Puck comes down into the offensive zone for the Magi. It was a nice lead pass sent ahead forward by the Magi's Chase Haberman. Tried to feed it to Stenberg, but it's an icing on the play. 2:16 to play here in the first. Still 2-0 Central. They were so good last year, they had 8 players that went on to play junior hockey. 2, of course, committed. 1 went to the U.S., committed to play college. 1 went to the U.S. development team. If you're going to play for Team USA as a 17-year-old, you're pretty special. That's what Judd Caulfield was. Grant Johnson was probably the better of the 2. Johnson had 85 points last year. Here's a drive coming towards the net. Got deflected in front by Mason Deal. Puck's underneath the goal now. It's worked away here by the Knights. Hendrickson handling. Top of the circle. He steams it towards the cage now with the backhand. Sent it just wide. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first. Bottom of the circle, far side. Central up by 2 goals. Trying to add to it. They work it around. Zach Murphy at the line. Dropped it back over. This is Brandon Holt. Bottom of the circle, far side. Throw it out of the zone by the Knights all the way down. And Caleb Johnson, the small goaltender, races over to the corner to play it. Nice crowd on hand today here this afternoon, by the way, at Mace Arena, Pepsi Rink. Hometown faithful probably not too impressed with a 2-0 deficit right now for Minot High. But if you think back to last year, this point in the game in the early part of the season, game number 1, Odie Nelson had already given up 6 goals to the Knights in that opening period. That was a bad outing for the Magi to start the year last year. Here's Hyde, 1 minute, 5 seconds left in the first. Carries it into the offensive zone. Bouncing puck comes back to the point. Here's a drive coming. That one from Stenberg, tipped in front of the net. Thank you, Danny Sim with the 1 minute call. Puck comes back into Minot High defensive territory. It was Broughton that came back to retrieve it. He sent it back into the offensive zone, but it's the Knights with control. And Hodgson loses it underneath the net. Abrahamson down there battling for it for the Magi with Bergerud. Comes to Abrahamson. Couldn't get it handled on his stick, and it comes back underneath the goal now, or Bergerud bounces it away far side wing, opposed at the blue line, holds it in, sends it back around, comes away to Abrahamson. Loose in the center slot. There's a hit from Opposed. Puck comes up to the blue line, and the Magi have to touch up on the offsides. Well, they have the puck in the offensive zone, but it's sloppy. Now the Knights bring it back the other way. Here's a drive coming. Broughton goes down to a knee. He blocked that shot. Bergerud carries out to center. Then Bergerud hammered at center ice. Falls off the puck. And the Knights dump it back in behind Odie Nelson. That will do it for the first. Here's the horn. 1 period in the books. Goals in the first from Adolski and Hansen for Grand Forks Central. No one scored for the Magi. No one even came close. Shots are 13-1 at the end of one period played. You're listening to Minot High Magicians Hockey. Will come back with a Thrifty White Drug intermission report.
Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surf Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza. Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority.
Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Minot High trailing Grand Forks Central at the end of one period played. It's 2-0. Goals from Adolski and Hansen. Ice level is Jordan Willard, the assistant coach of the Magicians. And Coach, let's first make sure you can hear me down there. Your thoughts on period number one?
Oh, yeah, I got you down here, Nicky. I can hear you. I thought we were a little tentative, to be expected first hockey game here, really here of the year. And, a lot of things not going the way we want them to exactly go. But, that's kind of to be expected. And, I thought Odin Nelson made some big saves there. And, we're a little sloppy in the D zone. But I think we kind of settled in there a little bit, the last 4.5 minutes or so. Started having a little bit of zone time. We just need to work hard to get pucks to the net. And I think we just need to work hard overall. If we skate, we're a skating team. If we can skate, maybe something will turn around in our favor here.
When you go to the locker room right now, they're certainly on in the season as a coaching staff. It was some of the best in that room with you, with Coach Grubb, Bennett in there as well. How much X's and O's are on the board right now, or is it just a meat and potatoes conversation of just relax and let's get back out here? I know you just touched on it, but how much, X's and O's is going to go on in between the first and second?
I don't think it's a ton. I mean, I think a lot of it is just little things, stick puck body, getting pucks in deep. We kind of are wanting to flip pucks on net here to get some offensive zone faceoffs so we can run some of our stuff in the offensive zone. And, neutral zone, we're trying to do a couple different things, but I don't think you go in and X and O them to death. It's, first game of the year, non-conference. It's kind of about a little bit of a feeling out process here.
Sure appreciate your time. We'll talk to you in between the second and third.
Sounds good. Thanks, Nicky.
That's Jordan Willard, the assistant coach for Minot High. Thanks for his time joining us in between the first and the second. We'll hear from our sponsors. We'll come back. We'll hear from Grant Paranika, the head coach of the Grand Forks Central Knights. His thoughts on the outlook of the season. His thoughts on last year. He touches on being on that 1987 national championship team for the University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux. Tony Herkus along with Eddie Belfour. Plenty of guys on that team that are known names in the hockey world. We'll hear his thoughts on that when we return. 2-0 at the end of one. This is the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Planet Pizza. All systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love that space. Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surfs Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Welcome back to our Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey. Season opener today for the Magi with the Grand Forks Central Knights, and we have the opportunity now to catch up with the head coach of the Knights, Grant Paranika. First of all, Coach, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for a little time. Welcome back to Minot.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Like I said, we have relatives in town, so it's always nice to come out and see them and see Minot and play Minot High.
Talk about last year, boy. You guys had a sensational run, 27-0. You had some of the best players in maybe the history of North Dakota high school hockey on that team. You guys just dominate all the way to the state title where you beat Bismarck High 7-2. Talk about last year a little bit. What more can you say than other than that was just a phenomenal season?
Well, we were very fortunate to have the players that we did. Like I said, we had two D1 college commits on that team, and one's playing for the national development team now, Judd Caulfield, and Grant Johnson's playing for the Bobcats and is committed to Northern Michigan. And they were very good hockey players. Then you got 8 other guys that are playing junior hockey off that team. So like I said, that with the talent we had and the work ethic those kids had, that put that together. It was just a blessing and real fun to work with those guys.
Why I wanted to talk to you today, I always like to get a season outlook from the east side of the state. You guys, again, Central, Red River, are predicted to be the top teams in North Dakota, according to the coaches across the state. Give us just an outlook over on the EDC and that side of the state. Is that the real deal? You guys in Red River again? Anyone else in the mix over there this year?
Well, I think Red River is certainly the real deal, and I think people maybe are overlooking Fargo Davies because that's a good hockey team there. They didn't lose a whole lot of players, and they could get up and down the ice real well. They gave us great games both times we played with the team we had last year. So I think, maybe some people are overlooking them, but I know that they're going to be a good hockey club. As far as we go, well, we've lost quite a few guys. We've got some big shoes to fill. Over 70% of our scoring is gone from last year. We felt we had some pretty good hockey players that had to play behind, Grant Johnson, Judd Caulfield, Colin Caulfield, who are all, like I said, playing junior hockey. So, we've got some talent there. I think the work ethic the kids have shown through the first 3 weeks of the season has been very good. They're optimistic. So, I like what I see so far, but certainly I think our motto this year is patience and persistence.
For the first time in 23 years, Minot High won the state title. They knock you guys off in your first year, I believe, as the head coach of Central. I'm not trying to bring up sour grapes. My question here is this. Over time, the West region of North Dakota high school hockey has kind of been a laugher, if you will, playing for that 5th place at the state championship up until a few years back where Bismarck High found themselves in the state title game. Minot High now a few times in that state title game. What do you think of West region hockey and the parity across the state of North Dakota? You have to be kind of impressed.
Oh, it's certainly picked up a lot. I mean, we're very impressed. I guess that's the reason why we're doing much more interlocking. I mean, Minot, we know, is a good program year in and year out. Same with Bismarck and pretty much Century. So, those 3 teams have kind of, I guess, paid their dues and built their programs the right way. They're sending players on to junior hockey level as well. So there's certainly really good competition out here. I think it's picked up tremendously. And, we're happy. It's good for hockey. It's good for North Dakota hockey.
Talk about today's matchup. What do you expect on the first game of the year for both you and Minot High? Minot High might be down a bit, and you never know what you're going to get against the Magi on day number 1. If you remember last year back at Purple Arena, it was a nice afternoon for you guys, not so much for the Magi.
Well, yeah, I think, that was last year. I guess we can't look back to that too much. I know Minot Minot High, I mean, they lost Enns and Bennett, but, they've got the bulk of their team back, including their goaltender, their Odin Nelson, I think so they've got him back as well. They've got, like you said, the majority of their team. We're expecting they're going to be a real good hockey team and a real tough competition is what we're expecting. So I just hope we're ready for it. Like you say, it's early in the season. I like what I've seen so far, and we know we've got good competition right out of the chute to measure up against.
Final thing I have for you today, and I sure appreciate your time. You played on that 1987 UND national championship team for the Fighting Sioux with guys like Herkus Circus and Eddie Belfour, and you were a key player as well. Talk about that, what North Dakota did for you here this year at the Ralph Engelstad Arena, remembering that 87 national championship team. How much fun was that, and did you and Eddie Belfour have any fun that night?
We certainly did. I think we had too much fun, all of us together, but yeah, no, the Ralph Engelstad Arena, the UND hockey team, did a great job putting on, that event for us, recognizing us on the ice, and it was really quite emotional. I didn't think it would be that way, but to step out on the ice and seeing all the fans, the North Dakota hockey fans, kind of remembering you at least with a cheer anyway, and that was just tremendous. And to spend time with those guys, we do see each other occasionally. There's a lot of guys in the area that we do see more often, but just to get all together again, it just seemed like everybody picked up right where they left off in college, and we had just a fantastic weekend.
Do you have one great memory from that 87 year where you guys won the national title? Obviously, raising the cup must have been pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. I would have to say, well, there were many fond memories, but in Detroit, when that final buzzer rang, and being with all the guys and raising the cup, like you say, or carrying that banner around the rink, and then the plane trip home and everything, that was all just, a very special memory, and something that a guy will always have.
Sure appreciate your time here today. Happy Thanksgiving again. Best of luck here in 2018 with the Knights.
Thank you.
That's Grant Paranika, the head coach of Grand Forks Central. When we come back to the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report, we'll break down the scoring from the first. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
The areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Planet Pizza. All systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surf Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
You
17 minutes in the books, 34 more to go. Minot High trailing Grand Forks Central tonight by a score of 2-0. Here's the stats from the period. By the way, before we do that, we'd like to thank Grant Paranica for his time before the hockey game tonight. It's always fun when you get to interview the Grand Forks Central coach and ask him about 2015 when Minot High won the state title against his very own club in his first year as the head coach of Central. Hey, no sour grapes. I just have to bring this up and ask you is what I said to him, and I wasn't trying to offend the guy by any means, but he had a small smile on his face, but I think he was also thinking maybe he could Nancy Kerrigan me behind the bus before we left tonight. Maybe one right at the knees. His club tonight, however, leads 2-0 at the end of one period played. Shots on goal are 13-1. Odie Nelson with 11 saves on 13 shots. Caleb Johnson has not been busy down there at the other end of the ice tonight. He's only seen one shot on goal. A minute 37 in, it was Mitchell Adolski from body that made it 1-0. Brisky had an assist on that play as well. Then Zach Murphy sets up Cole Hansen. Murphy from his knees got it in front of the net to Hansen. Not really a chance for Odie Nelson on that one. The one-timer at 11-16. Those are the two goals to report at the end of one period played. Cheerleaders are on the ice for the Magi. They've got the painted sign of paper that they're about to tear through when they come back to the ice. 2 minutes on the dot before the Magi return to the ice. We'll take a step aside. That's going to close out our Thrifty White Drug intermission report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. At the end of one period played, Minot High trailing Grand Forks Central 2-0 at the end of one. The second period comes up next.
My name is Marshall Canal. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Time for the second period of play of Minot High Magicians hockey. Beck Sports is here this afternoon, by the way. Happy to see the Beck Sports boys here. As always, they do such a fantastic job with the television coverage of sporting events across North Dakota, certainly on the hockey rink. Brent Borkus standing right next to me to my left. Nice to see Brent Borkus. He was one of my first ever color commentators when I used to work for the Bismarck Bobcats in the North American Hockey League. Brent came down to Bismarck every single weekend and covered those games with the Bobcats with me. We sure had a great time down in Bismarck. Working next to him tonight. He's on TV, I'm on the radio. We're underway. Central traveling right to the left to the right for the Magi for the second period. And the Knights control off the opening draw in the middle frame. Here's a drive coming with just wide off the attempt there from Cole Hansen. He's got a goal in the hockey game. Puck carried all the way out to center ice where the Knights have control of it again. They're back in. It's a 2-on-1. Hyde, the one-man back on defense. Nice play from Patrick Hyde. Stopped that rush, but still with control of the puck. The Knights had it. It was sent in front from Zach Murphy. Can Minot High clear? They can. It's a 2-on-1. Deals in. He's got Vile with him. It's a 3-on-2 now. Deals in. Turns, fires. All went wide. That one man went off the blocker of Caleb Johnson. Puck picked up here by Central. They're going to push back into Minot High defensive territory. Nice play there by Tatum Hertz. He stopped the rush, and now Hertz is going to clear the zone out to center ice. Hertz in a sea of red. Dumps it back in behind Johnson. Johnson out to play it with the backhand. Swept it around the side wall. And it goes out to center ice where the Knights have it again. Will Howard across center. Dumped it back in behind Odin Nelson. Top of the circle. Drive comes in. Went wide of Odin Nelson on the blocker side. This is the left side of the radio dial now where the Knights have control. They send it up down low. 15:36 to play here the second. Minot High down by 2 goals. They dump it in. Johnson's out to play it. That CCM stick with fresh tape on it for the Central goalkeeper. Hasn't seen any action tonight. He's only seen 2 shots on goal. Most recently one here in the second from Deal on the 2-on-1 rush. Minot High looks better here in the second than they did at the start of the first. Handled down by Hyde, wrapped it around the near side wall. Top of the circle, trying to clear the zone for the Bad Giants. Pushed out to center by Plemmel. He'll gain the offensive zone with it. Back hitting the brakes. Brisky for the Knights. And they move it to the far side wing. This one should come down for an icing. It does. 2 minutes on the dot into the second period. Minot High down by 2 goals with a face-off coming in their offensive territory on the blocker side of Caleb Johnson. Talked about the freshman Caleb Johnson, the goaltender for Central, who started as a freshman, I should say, Caleb Johnson. Then he played as a sophomore, won the title that year. That was last year. And now here he is in his junior campaign. If anyone remembers Phil Lamoureux, played for the University of North Dakota, one of the Lamoureux family members. Hang on, back the other way. Here's a drive coming. That one went up and over the glove of Odie Nelson from Wygstrand. He had the opportunity as he turned on the Jets. Look on Abrahamson, goes knee to knee. He's all right. Here's a drive coming from the line. That one hit the bar off the wrister coming from Lawson Body. Anyway, Caleb Johnson, point being, he looks to be just about the same size as Phil Lamoureux, just a small goaltender down there, loose in front of the net. Here's a drive coming. That one off the blocker of Odie Nelson, goes up into the protective mesh. Another opportunity there from Will Howard. He had a clear look at the Magi net keeper, and the puck went on to play. Caleb Johnson listed as 5'11", $185. Maybe he is that tall. Phil Lamoureux is quite a bit smaller than that. Maybe Johnson grew a bit from his freshman year, which is possible. I remember seeing him as a freshman, however, where it was going like, my, oh my, this guy's tiny. 5'11" is what the program says. On the other side, you've got Odie Nelson that's 5'11", $170. And there's no doubt in my mind that Odie Nelson's bigger than Caleb Johnson. Offensive zone, Murphy trying to break in with it. He took the pass from Fillion. Puck is tied up inside the blue line. The Knights have it back in their own territory. They're going to set it up here and clear it out to center ice, where it's moved ahead forward by Zane Miller. Came back on to the tape there of Patrick Hyde, and the Magi moving into the offensive zone momentarily, not for long. Here come the Knights back the other way. Over the Minot High stripe, down to the corner, back in behind Nelson. Sent in front of the net, comes back up to the point. Here's Bjorgi, turns it towards the goal, went wide of Nelson. Now it's Brent Davis. He'll take this one and flip it right into the bench. Almost hit Grant Paranika. 13:30 to play here in the second. Still 2-0 Central. Shots on goal are 16-2. Goals in the first, if you're just joining us, for Mitchell Adolski. That one a minute 37 in. 11:16 into the first, it was Cole Hansen. Both of their first goals of the season. Of course, the first game of the year. Second intermission, we'll take a look around the state. There has been some games played. Nobody playing any conference games yet, but that will change Tuesday night when Minot High hosts Mandan. 7 o'clock to start there. We'll have that one for you on 1390. KRRZ will also have that one online for you at youtube.com. Then Minot High goes to Devil's Lake on Thursday. So a couple quick ones to start the year. Central tonight, Mandan Tuesday, Devil's Lake Thursday. Back underneath the net, Knights have it, Minot High territory, out of the backhand, looking to go to the far side. Hansen sends it in front of the net, loose. Odie Nelson slides across, it's in the net. They score as Murphy sets it up. And on the back doorstep, tucking it home, number 15, Lucas Canta. 3-0 Grand Forks Central. 12:51 to play here in the second. Minot High will send out a new unit. So the new unit comes out for the Magi. It's Nelson. He's joined by Jack Plemmel. And on the far side, 19 is Hunter Cope. Let's listen in to Danny Sim. Canta from Hansen and Murphy. It's all Grand Forks Central in the opener here this afternoon. Drive from the line, goes just wide. First power play of the game coming. The arm is up. from Eric Steele, and Minot High will be shorthanded for the first time here tonight. No, they won't. It's going to be Central, and into the box on the hooking call will go Kyler Brisky. Well, here comes the Minot High power play, something that the Magi have been able to hang their hat on here for the last 4 seasons, 5 maybe. This power play has been good. You think all the way back to the Quinn Fuchs days, Jersey Kelly days, that's when it really dominated. Let's see what they do here with 2 minutes on the hooking call. Hyde has it at the line, offensive zone. Now Bergrud sends it down to the corner. Stenberg to Deal. Deal wraps it up in front of the net. Johnson's blocker side. It's taken by the Knights, and with the backhand, this one shoveled all the way down. Hyde's on the retrieve back in his own territory. Patrick Hyde behind Odie Nelson. Puck free down to Deal. He's up over center. Left-handed shooter. The junior brings it in over the blue line. He's going to be met there at the blue line by tough defense from Lucas Canta. Canta pushes out to center. Uh-oh, short-handed back the other way. In with it, walking Cole Hansen. Backhand save. Odie Nelson. It's in between the legs. And the whistle is blown. And then Patrick Hyde's going to go after a player. That's Lucas Canta in the corner. And are they going to take Hyde into the sin bin? They will. Hyde's going to go into the box on the 2-minute roughing, or is going to be a cross check? On sportsmanlike, rather, for Patrick Hyde, and Hyde's got 2 in the sin bin. Hyde was just sticking up for his goaltender. Devin Blada says not this afternoon. So not a penalty in the first. Back-to-back penalties here in the second. We're going to skate 4-on-4 for the next minute 20. After that, about 30 seconds of power play time for Central. Out to center ice we go. It's handled by the Knights. Cole Wigstrand takes it down into the Minot High end. Blocker side of Nelson it comes. Left side of the radio dial. Puck tied up down low by Logan Broughton. He had a nice year for the Magi in the football field. Congratulations to Barry Holman and his crew, by the way. The Magicians went to the AAA state championship football game. Unfortunately, it was the West Fargo Packers that took home the crown. Knights have control. Minot High D-end. Puck comes to the line. Nelson forced to make a stick save. He hangs on tight to it. He didn't see that one all the way. Hunter Moreland sent in a wrister from the line, and with 11 minutes, 2 seconds to play here in the second. And 40 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. We'll have a face-off on Odie Nelson's blocker side. Still 3-0. Grand Forks Central. 2015-2016, Grand Forks Central took 3rd in the state. They beat West Fargo 3-2. Here's a drive from the line that goes in. Nelson tried to reach across the body to glove that one instead of using the blocker. And the boomer from the line finds the back of the net, Hunter Bjorgi. And that's one that Odie would like to have back. 4th goal of the night on the 19th shot. And the game puck goes to the Central bench. Must have been the first one of the high school career for Hunter Bjorgi. Let's see if that's who gets credit with it. Might have been tipped in front. 10:59 to play here in the second. Here's the scoring.
Even strength goal, 6:01 in the second period. Skater number 22, Hunter Bjork. Assisted on the play by skater number 11, Parker Stroh. It's 22 from 11.
Stroh to Bjorgi. And it's 4-0 Central. It will go to runtime at 6-0 in the third period. Hopefully it doesn't get there. The Magicians looking to see if they can't put a stop to the bleeding, if you will. Shots are 19-2 right now in favor of the Knights. Jake Vile tried to clear the zone. Couldn't. Held in by the Knights. They push it back underneath the net. Lawson Body takes it away to the near side. Backhand. Knights are at full strength. 35 seconds of power play time for Central. Top of the circle at the point. Drop back down. Lawson Body has it. Near side half wall. Blocker side. Up to the point it comes. Handled by Moreland. Lawson Body underneath the goal line. Walking out. Drive save. Odie Nelson turned that one aside. As the pad came up, puck goes all the way to the other end of the ice, and it's taken by Caleb Johnson. He moves it forward. Let the Knights control it now and bring it back into their own territory with Cole Hansen. Yeah, Caleb Johnson certainly grown since the time he was a freshman. He's a lot bigger than I made him sound to be. He's definitely bigger than Phil Lamoureux once he stands up straight in there. He's over the barn by quite a bit, but when he crouches down, his style is to play real low, talking about the Central goalkeeper. Minot High kills off the power play. Look how big hit on the far side wall, and going for a ride was Hunter Cope. And a stop in the play. What will the call be? Is it an offsides on Central? I believe that's what it is. Media timeout inside the arena. 4-0. Grand Forks Central with 9:27 left in the second. You're listening to Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Planet Pizza. All systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
I love space.
Planet Pizza.
9:27 left in the second. Grand Forks Central has extended the lead to 4-0. We come back from the media timeout with a face-off coming on the blocker side of Odin Nelson, I do believe, though it's at neutral ice. My apologies. Jake Stack will set it up out there for the face-off. It's Nelson in on the draw against Zane Miller. Miller wins it back for the Knights. Into the offensive zone for the Magi. Puck is going to come free out of the tape here. Moved away by Brandon Holt. Out to center, back in about in high territory. Logan Broughton turning with it. Broughton's going to take it, moving away to the far side wall, up over center. We had some difficulties at the start of the game tonight to get the Planet Pizza pregame show to you. Some miscommunication back at Clear Channel Radio. We were streaming it, they just couldn't find it for us, so we're going to play that interview with Jason Bennett before the game tonight. He previews the West region, the state of North Dakota. Talks a little bit about last year, talks about what to look forward to this year. We'll have that interview for you at 8:40 in the next 8:40 after the second period comes to a close. We'll also have the recap of the scoring of this one. Icing on the play on the Magi. Puck comes back into Minot High territory on the blocker side of Odin Nelson. Hertz comes out. Out there with Haberman. Fillions line out. He's got Murphy out there with him along with Brett Davis. Davis just threw it right to the point. Shot comes in. Rebound turned aside. They score. And Brett Davis hanging his head. He had a chance to clear the zone on that one and just threw it right to the central defender. Top shelf off the carob off the end wall. That's Kyler Brisky, and it's 5-0 Central. Well, when I was asked before the game how Minot High was going to do here this afternoon, I said I think we might surprise some people. I truly believe that coming in, that Minot High would surprise some people, maybe in the state of North Dakota. Knights back in with a drive, went wide of Odie Nelson on the blocker side. But I think that after seeing what Minot High has to offer here in game number one, 5-0 halfway through the contest, that it might take a little time. Magi still a little green. It's players that have played some varsity experience, but they're a little young yet. Back into the offensive zone over the line for Parker Stroh, excuse me, for the Knights offside. Faceoff will come back to neutral. But then again, when you think about the Magicians in the year they won it in 2015, Minot High was an 18-8-1 team. They took third place in the West region. In the regular season standings, they took third place coming out of the West region tournament. Century beat them that night in double overtime, if you remember that one. 8 losses on the year, 1 in overtime. That got them to 18-8-1. And they won the big dance for the first time in 23 years. So you don't count your chickens before they hatch. And if you think about the year that they won it in 92, they got pounded by plenty of teams that year also. I'm not saying Minot High is going to win the state championship this year. I'm just saying teams like Central, Red River, they're not as good as they were last year. That Central team last year that went 27-0 was unbelievable. This team's not looking half bad. Lawson Bodie back in with it. Sends it in front of the net. Taken away by Abrahamson. Puck now over to Bergerud. Bergerud collides with a man on the far side wall. And Bergerud with that big body had the better of those two, but Bergerud cruises to the bench. He may be hurt. Bergerud in all sorts of pain as he crawls over the Minot High bench. We'll keep an eye on him. Here's a drive coming loose in front of the Magi cage. Puck turned away. Onto the tape now here for Kanta. He's scored in tonight's game. Kanta brings it far side wall, top of the circle. Walking out, Kanta has it again. Magicians waiting for the Knights to fire on. They do here. Nelson makes the blocker save. Comes away to the near side half boards. Minot High standing around quite a bit in their own defensive zone. It's the Magicians on the near side wall that have it pinned up. Holding Nelson's blocker side. Puck comes away down to Stenberg. Out to center. This is Opposda. Into the offensive zone for the Magi, but they don't control it. 6:23 to play here in the second. Minot High trailing 5-0. In over the line. This one offsides on the Knights. Saw the opportunity there from Zach Murphy. 22 might be on the low end, by the way, for the shots on goal. I think the Knights may have a few more than that here tonight. But Minot High doesn't have many more than 3, I'll guarantee you that. That's what the shots are, 22-3. It's a big brother beatdown again. Central predicted to be the team to beat in North Dakota along with Red River. People are talking about Century being the team to beat coming out of the West region. Got some players coming back that were pretty good last year. Here's a penalty coming. Minot High is going to go to the power play as Stenberg was tripped out of the play, and into the box will go Kanta. He wears the assistant captain patch. He's got a 2-minute breather in the sin bin. Bismarck Century predicted to win the West. Century didn't get out of the first round of the tournament last year at the big dance at Shields Arena. I lied to you. No, they didn't. They lost to Davies 4-0 in the 5th place game as well. They're supposed to be good this year. Let's see how they do. Minot High and Bismarck High deadlocked at the number 2 spot of the West. At the blue line, Peterson lost it for the Magi, and it's taken and hammered down the length of the ice. That one from Tucker Hodgson. Back up to center, Brett Davis with a handle on it. Back to Peterson. He's in front of the Minot High bench. They step into the offensive zone with it. Peterson takes it down to the corner. Back in behind, Caleb Johnson comes away now to Brett Davis, and Davis works it up the near side wall. Davis lost a handle on it. Here come the Knights back to center. Davis back trying to play defense here on the power play. He does. He just sweeps it back through neutral. The puck comes all the way back into Central territory. That one launched like a UFO the length of the ice by Bjorgi. Hit the glass about it high with Broughton. Brings it back up to Murphy. 55 seconds here on the power play for the Magi. We're under 5 to play in the second as the Knights shorthanded carry back into Minot High territory where Patrick Hyde's back to retrieve. Well, if you're looking for highlights of this one, there aren't any if you're a Magi fan. Here's a drive coming on goal. A bouncer stopped by Odie Nelson after the Magi turned it over in their own territory. Hyde back from behind his own net. Minot High hasn't scored yet. It's 5-0 Central. Vile in with it now. He's going to take it top of the circle. Offensive zone. Vile back behind the net. Hits the brakes. Blocker side. He's being ridden heavily there by Moreland. Puck comes back away to Bergerud. Bergerud coughs it up, and here come the Knights back the other way. Into the offensive zone for the Knights. Howard turns, fires Odie Nelson. Gobbles it up and hangs tight to it. 4:16 to play in the second. 5-0 Central. Mesa Arena holds just about 2,300 people here in the Pepsi rink. I guess there's probably maybe 200 or 300 in here this afternoon. Maybe a few more, call it 400. I don't know how many. Certainly not full. I don't think she's half full. Not even close. A lot of maroon seats open, but an all right turnout here at Pepsi Rink for the afternoon affair. East First West showdown. Rematch of last year's state semifinals. Knights go back to full strength. Through center ice with it. Here comes Plemmel. He'll dump it down to the corner in behind Caleb Johnson, who's out to play it. Johnson wrapped it around the near side half boards, fired out to center. Knights back in. It's a 2-on-2 drill. Into the offensive zone. Zach Murphy has it, turns, fires, went wide, comes away to the near side boards. All the way down. It comes off the carom into the offensive zone for the Magi. We're down to 3 minutes, 35 seconds to play in the second. Minot High trailing in this one, 5-0. Grand Forks Central started it off a minute 37 into the game with a Mitchell Adolski goal. They haven't looked back since. Shots are 24-3 in the contest. All Central here tonight. They're back in with it. Cole Hansen, blocker side of Odin Nelson. Drop back down to the corner. Handling onto the near side wing. This is Zach Murphy. Delay call coming on the Magi. Johnson goes off the goaltender. Here's a drive coming. Minot High touches it. And a cross check is called by Eric Steele. And who will this one be on? It looks like it's going to be on Logan Broughton, the captain of the Magi, heading to the sin bin. So now we get a true look at Central's power play. 3:03 left in the second. And probably not what you want to be seeing if you're a Magi fan right now. Central's going to take a look at it. Danny Seb on the call. Nice to hear his voice inside Pepsi Rink. Knights have it. They work it around. One-timer from the line. Knocked down off of Patrick Hyde's glove. Comes back up to the point. Now the Knights carry again with it. Handling here, Adolski. He had the game's first goal. Worked up to the point. Adolski handles top of the circle. Blocker side. Back at the point. Sent in front of the net. Comes away to the top of the circle. Far wing. Wangstrand lost it. Out to center ice is Opposda. He's got Abrahamson with him. Throwing it towards the goal was Opposda. Caleb Johnson just takes the stick and plays it to the corner. 2 minutes, 24 seconds to play in the second. $1:19 to play on the power play for the Knights. A miscue there. Comes back to Hyde, and Hyde moves it ahead. Abrahamson's into the offensive zone with it. With the backhand, he just chips it down to the corner. He goes off for a change. Stenberg, one-man aggressive here on the forecheck. Had it momentarily. Comes back to Hyde. Then he just sends it back into the offensive zone. Well, a high point for Minot High has been the first minute of this penalty kill. Looks pretty good. Central sets up shop in their own territory now. Knights out to center over the red. Now the blue line in with it. Handling is Cole Hansen. Bounced up off the wall. Puck rolls all the way back into Minot High offensive territory. Caleb Johnson forced to play that one to the side. They're going to count that one as a shot on goal, as they should, but that's kind of been the story tonight. Only 5 shots for the Magi. 4 of them have been dump-ins or muffins. Top of the circle, far side. Knights with control. Here's a drive coming, whistled up and wide from Cole Hansen. Back underneath the net. This is Zach Murphy. Sent in front. Tony Nelson made the pad save. Then it's taken by Stenberg, and with a backhand, he'll launch it all the way down. Caleb Johnson comes out of the net to play it. Boy, he can play it well. Throws it back into Minot High offensive territory. Fillion gets a handle on it. He'll dump this one all the way down. And the Magi are 1 for 1 on the power play. On the penalty kill. 0 for 1 on the Knights on the power play.
Second period, 1 minute.
Thank you, Danny, on the 1-minute call. Look, puck's up into the rafters, and it falls right in front of the press box here. 47 seconds to play in the third. 5-0 Grand Forks Central. Taking it to Minot High tonight. Fillion in on the draw on center ice. He wins that one back, and it's worked away from Haberman across to his partner Peterson. Dumped down into the offensive zone. They're going to call that an icing with 39.7 seconds to play in the second. Not exactly sure what's going on with the Minot High coaching staff. Jason Bennett and Jordan Willard have those fancy Adidas gray jackets on with the maroon and gold M above the left. On the left side of the chest. John Grubb doesn't have his on today. It's hard to call him the best dressed coaching staff in the state without all of them matching here this afternoon. I'll have to ask Grubber what the deal is. Drive in front of the net. That one went wide on the one-timer from Adam Arnold. Near side wall. Puck handle defensive zone for the Magi. Pushed out to center. Bouncer rolls all the way back into Grand Forks Central territory. Back on the retrieve to pick it up there is Adam Arnold. Arnold moves it forward. Out to center to come the Knights. 8 seconds in the period. Fillion trying to battle his way away with the puck. He does. Cleared out of the zone. Here's the horn coming. And at the end of 2 periods played, it's all Grand Forks Central here at Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena. The Knights lead this one 5-0. We've got more coming up on our Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. We'll hear from Jason Bennett, that Coach's Corner that you didn't get to hear before the game tonight. We'll have that for you. We'll have the stats as well. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Planet Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. 3 when supper time's a crunch. 2 T-minus now it's time 1 for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love space.
2 periods in the books. Minot High trailing Grand Forks Central by a score of 5-0. 17 minutes left. Jordan Willard's ice level. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. I know these aren't fun to talk to me up here when you guys are down 5-0, but is there anything that you could take out of that second period as a positive? You guys look like you played a little better than you did in the first period, but Central still found a way to score 3 on Odie Nelson there in the middle frame.
Yeah, I mean, I thought our compete level, rose a little bit. The one thing with Grand Forks Central, it's their MO. It doesn't matter if they have skilled teams or not. They're going to come extremely hard, and they're going to be hard to play against. I mean, they bump everything. They take away things. They move the puck well, and they're quick. So if our kids don't want to match work ethic, it'll be a long night for us. So, I thought we did that at times in that period, but, it needs to be a consistent thing. I mean, it's a first game of the year, Nick, right? You're going to take some lumps, and, you hope as a coaching staff that you grow from certain things, and hopefully tonight's a growing night.
Well, I got good and bad news for you, Coach. I know JL Beers is kind of our place we like to go. I know you like that burger after the game, but Buffalo Wild Wings is the post-game sponsor here in 2017-2018, so you might need to get ready for some Asian Zing wings instead.
Well, I do like that Buffalo Ranch chicken wrap up there at the old Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, what's one key to the third period? What do you guys look for here in the third frame?
Well, I mean, for me, being an offensive guy, I'd like to pop one. Just get a little bit of confidence here. I mean, we've had some power plays. Haven't really produced much on any of the power plays. I mean, Grand Forks Central, they come really hard. Give them credit there. But I just want my kids to compete. I just want us to compete. I want us to work hard. We get right into WDA region play on Tuesday against Mandan. Things start, to become really important then, and I just want my kids to compete and get some confidence.
Sure appreciate your time. We'll talk to you in the post-game show brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Best of luck in the third.
All right, thanks, Nikki.
That's Jordan Willard, the assistant coach of the Minot High Magicians. When we come back to our Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report, we'll hear from Jason Bennett, his outlook as the head coach coming up to the 2017-2018 season. 5-0 at the end of 2 periods played. It's all Grand Forks Central in this one. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surf Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vibeto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
It's time for Coach's Corner. We're now joined by Minot High co-head coach, Mr. Jason Bennett. First of all, feels good to be back in the locker room here for another season of Magi hockey. Welcome into 2017-2018. How was the off season for you?
It was good. It came quick. It seemed like the season kind of snuck up upon us, and here we are. We had, a early snowstorm, and now it's beautiful weather. So it's hockey season's earlier. Now it's warm out, but we're excited and ready to get going on the season.
Let's talk about last year a little bit. And when we look back to 2016, 2017, the big thing for me again is another win in the first round of the state high school hockey tournament, and the Magicians on the map again. You guys end up in that region title match against Bismarck High, finishing number 2 in the West region. Overall, your thoughts on last year? Pretty good year, but you lose quite a bit this year.
I think so. I think it was, obviously your goal is to, win a state tournament, and I think our goals the last few years is to get to that semifinal game Friday night at the state tournament. We've done that 3 of the last 4 years, and it's got to start somewhere. It builds from that. We've been in the West Region Championship game, I think probably 3 of the last 4 years as well. So we're moving in the right direction. We got a lot of kids returning this year that played a lot the last 2 or 3 years. So we're excited about the veteran leadership we bring back. We got some young guys that can scoot as well. So we're really excited about the season.
I talk about losing some this year, and what I'm talking about is your son, Easton Bennett. He had 61 points last year. He's off playing junior hockey up in Canada. Colby Enns, he's a senior in high school this year, but he's playing for the Toros here in Minot. He had 34 points last year. What's this team going to be like without 2 of those guys that have been household names for the past few years?
We've kind of had that. We've kind of had, I wouldn't say superstars, but we've had, guys that we could lean on late in games that we know, are going to come through with some big goals the last few years, whether it's Matt Flom or Quinn Fuchs or Morelli or Easton and Colby. This year, I think it's going to be scoring by committee. We got Jakey Vile back this year, and he had a really good year last year. So, we're looking to lean on him. We're looking to lean on Patrick Hyde, who was an all-stater last year as well. So we're going to hope we get, 8-10 guys that can each chip in with between, 8 to 12 goals. And we're probably maybe not going to have a guy that has 60 points this year, but we'll get a lot of guys that have 30.
Talk about the back end a little bit, and a big topic of conversation when we're talking about the sport of hockey is goaltending. Odie Nelson, if he can finish, if he can start the year the way he finished last year, it was kind of impressive seeing him as a sophomore kind of develop into a player that you could kind of count on maybe at the state tournament and in the region games. What do you look for out of Odie this year? How does he look in practice, and is he a kid that can get it done for you this year for the Magi?
Yeah, we're hoping so. We're gonna lean on him heavily here to start the year. He's going to be pushed a little bit more. We have a little more depth in goaltending than we did last year. Odin was put in a tough situation last year. We had some ineligibilities, and he was forced to play every game and didn't really have a night off. But if you look how he ended last year, the double overtime, triple overtime game, whatever it was against Century, played wonderful in the state qualifier game, played really well in the first round game at state against Davies, played great in the semifinal game against Grand Forks Central. So that's the old Nelson we need, a kid that's calm and collective. When things start to maybe go south for him and he loses focus a little bit, that's where he struggles. And it's our job to keep him in check in those aspects. And if he can do that and keep his head, I think he'll be in good shape this year.
You got Broughton back on the point. He's going to be the captain of your hockey team this year with Hyde back there as well. Talk about this back end. You guys, looks like on the back end, defensively, you can have some guys back there that you can probably count on.
We do. We returned 4 defensemen, and 3 of them are seniors, and Hertz is back as well, and he's a junior. He played a lot for us last year, and it's good to have that. Every year you lose some, but you bring back some, and we're fortunate to bring back 4 really good defensemen. This year with Hyde, as I mentioned earlier, being an all-stater, and Broughton has really developed immensely over the last 3 years that he's been with us. So we're looking for those 2 to kind of be a shutdown pair. We're going to start with them together and let them maybe not work themselves out of it, but they got to prove they can play together and not separate them. And so we're excited about that as well.
Looking at the roster, boy, my eyes lit up and I got a smile on my face. Looks like there's a kid on the team by the name of Philly, and talk about him a little bit. Is he going to be an impact player here in his early goings? Is he anything like the old man?
You think so? I alluded to earlier, we have a couple sophomores, Philly and Murphy kid. They're not the biggest kids, but we haven't had sophomores that, are small and fast since we've probably seen Chaplesky and Schuster and kids like that a few years back. So we're excited, We're going to pair them with Brett Davis, who's kind of our big power forward who's been injured the last couple of years. But we know Davis in the right spot on the ice can score goals, and that's where we're going to count on him and let those two little water bugs kind of do the dirty work. And it's just tradition. We're starting to get now second, third generation kids in here, and to have the name fill in, it's big shoes to fill, and he's wearing his dad's Sioux jersey, number 26. So we're pretty excited to have him in the lineup too.
Talk about the matchup today, boy. You draw a big one right out of the gate. Grand Forks Central, a team that in the opener last year spanked you guys pretty bad over at Purper Arena. This is a different Grand Forks Central team this year. It's a different Magicians team this year. What do you expect out of the state predicted number one team in North Dakota, and what are you looking for out of the matchup in 51 minutes today?
Hopefully we compete. We weren't ready to play. If anything, we were scared last year, and we had a couple kids that were ready to play, and I think we've kind of made that a point of emphasis last week at practice. It's a good hockey team. They lost a number of seniors. They were undefeated last year, state champs, but, that carries over to some of their underclassmen as well. So I think our guys are going to be ready to go from the puck drop. We need to play fast. We need to play physical, and I think that'll be lead to success for us.
Finally, you guys get a nice matchup to start the year against a non-conference opponent like Mandan the past few years. But the schedule's heavy here at the start of the season. After tonight, Tuesday night against Mandan, and then off to Devil's Lake on Thursday. You like having back-to-back to-back games in a sense to start the year like this to get you guys rolling?
I think so. Once the season starts, you have the trial process. You got a couple weeks of practice. You throw in the jamboree, and the season's short. And guys are eager to get going. We added Bismarck High as a non-conference. A non-point game this year, so that's another game we picked up. Mandan, they got a new coach, a Minot guy that's there this year, and it's always nice to get to Devil's Lake. We've had some pretty good battles with them in the past, so it's nice to get going right away, and then we got next weekend off, so put us in a good spot.
Final thing I have for you, predictions across the state of North Dakota to open the season. EDC, Red River, and Central are the teams predicted to be at the top of the ladder. Talking with Paranika, he thinks maybe Davies is in the mix as well. When you look at the West region, Century kind of the clear-cut favorite over here with Bismarck High and Minot High coming in, voting in second in the West region. Overall, it's kind of the same 4 or 5 teams at the top of the ladder this year. Do you see that being the true case this year? Are those numbers across the state, those predictions, are those off? Are they right? They wrong? Where do you see that?
I think so. It's pretty close. I think last year, the beginning of the year, the coaches poll, I think it ended pretty darn close to what it was voted on at the beginning of the year. And I think it's right. I think maybe, in my opinion, Red River maybe has a little bit more returning than Central does. Bismarck High and Century, they have some younger kids, some good talent coming up. Century especially has a couple really good lines. And Davies returns, I think they graduated 2 seniors on. And fortunately for us, we get to play Davies again this year. They come to Minot here in January. So
best of luck here today. Thanks for your time. As always, looking forward to the 26th.
Actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Planet Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. 3 when supper time's a crunch. 2 T-minus now it's time 1 for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love space. Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surf Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza. It's time for the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority.
34 minutes in the books. Minot High trailing 5-0 to Grand Forks Central here on the season opener. For Minot High Magicians Hockey, this is the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. Here's the scoring recap of this 5-0 affair at this point in the hockey game. 2 periods played, 1 to go. Minot High trailing. First of all, the shots are 25-5 in favor of Grand Forks Central. 20 stops tonight for Odie Nelson. 5 have gotten by him. 5 on the other side for Caleb Johnson. He's perfect 5 for 5. Here's the scoring recap in the hockey game. Mitchell Adolski from Lawson Body at a minute 37 of the first period. Kyler Brisky also assisted on that goal. Cole Hansen and Zach Murphy got on the board at 11:16. It was Hansen's goal. Murphy from a knee sent it to him. Into the second period we'd go. The shots were 13-1 in the first. They were 12-4 in the second. And then in the second, Central scored 3 times. The first came from Lucas Canta at 4:09. Zach Murphy assisted. Cole Hansen had the other assist. Hunter Bjorgi and Parker Stroh on the score sheet at 6:01. It was Stroh that set up Bjorgi. Then Kyler Brisky scores at 8:22. Parker Stroh has the assist, and Hendrickson does as well. Nice game tonight for Zach Murphy and Parker Stroh. Both getting on the score sheet a handful of times. Bjorgi as well, Brisky as well. Adolski had the first one. He hasn't been on the score sheet since then. We're a minute 25 away from the start of the third period. Minot High trailing Central 5-0. That will put a cap on our Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. We'll get set up for the third period when we return. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surf Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Well, can the Magi get anything done here in the third period? We're about to find out. Minot High returns to the ice in those flashy home white jerseys. Here comes Grand Forks Central, and they're all maroon. Central wears the maroon pants with the white and silver stripe down the side of those pants. Those are flashy. Oof, to the horn was loud that time, wasn't it? Look out. 5-0. Central leads. Goals in this one from Adolski, Hansen, Canta, Bjorgi, and Brisky. Looking to see if they can put the foot on the gas pedal and start their season at 1-0. Minot High just trying to see if they can do something right here in the third period. Odin Nelson will be on the right side of the radio dial. On the left side, it will be Caleb Johnson. Minot High will travel from the right to the left, left to the right for Grand Forks Central. Eric Stilt checks with both goal judges to make sure everybody's ready to go. We are. Queen, We Will Rock You plays inside the Mesa Arena. And Nelson steps in for the opening draw in the third period against Cole Hansen. Minot High wins the draw. We're underway for the third. That neutralized. The puck bounces into the Minot High offensive territory where it's taken there by Brandon Holt. He got it back away to the far side. This is Moreland. Up to center ice it comes. Cole Hansen walking past Broughton. All of a sudden it's a 2-on-2. Turning it towards the net. Odie Nelson forced to make a point-blank range stop on Zach Murphy. And Odie Nelson credited with stop number 21 of the night. Still think those shots on goal might be a bit lopsided. Meaning, let me rephrase that. I think they might have less shots on goal for Odie Nelson than he's actually seen tonight. Of course they're lopsided. 26-5 are the shots on goal. Yes, they're lopsided. I just think they might be missing a few for the Magi. Goaltender Odie Nelson, who's been busy tonight, walking, turning. There's another one. He makes a nice pad save on an opportunity there from Brisky. Walked into the center slot all by himself and fired one on. Hit the Bauer leg pad of Nelson. Puck tied up back behind the net now. Right side of the radio dial. It's taken by Patrick Hyde. He starts the rush up to center. Trying to move it out to neutral. Big hit there from Abrahamson. That brings the Magi bench to volume. Dumped in by the Knights into the offensive zone. This one fired on. Nelson makes another glove save. 1 minute, 1 second into our third period. Minot High trailing by 5. Well, next up for the Magi, they've got Mandan on home ice coming up on Tuesday evening. Join us for the Planet Pizza pregame show. 7:10 for the Planet Pizza pregame show that night. Thursday night, we're in Devil's Lake for a matchup with the Firebirds. We'll have that one on the radio for you as well. Talked to Jason Bennett before the game tonight. Puck's out of play, by the way, off the faceoff. Talking about those predictions inside of North Dakota and what he thinks the actual truth may be. Well, he thinks that it's pretty much spot on. Red River and Central are the teams to beat. Davies maybe in the mix a bit. Then you're looking at a team like Bismarck High, Minot High, and they're predicted 2 in the West. Century's supposed to be the real deal inside the West region. Can anybody hang with Red River or Central? I don't know. All the way down for an icing after it was faced off of the Minot High defensive end. Talking to Grant Paradicka before the hockey game today and just talking about what that has been like for Minot High and Bismarck High to be back on the relevant category for the Magicians in the state of North Dakota. What it means to come out here and play a team like Minot High at the start of the year. Actually makes sense for them to do that now that the West region is back up a little bit. Early 90s, you saw that quite a bit. Back in with it. Knights have it right in front of the net. Sent back door. One too many passes there for Lawson Body. And Minot High intercepts and pushes out to center. That was almost an opportunity on a 3-on-2 for the Knights to score again, but they had too many passes in the way. Near side wall, pushed ahead. Vile was crushed at center. Lawson Body's got it back. He fires it into the blocker side corner. Nelson, the captain, Broughton tried to sweep it away to Hyde. He didn't put enough mustard on it. And the Knights regain control inside their offensive territory on the near wall. Now Stenberg whacked it all the way down the length of the ice. That will be an icing. 5-0. Knights lead with 15 minutes to play in the third. Well, when you think to 1985, 1989, that time frame, Matt Borelli's year back in the day, Minot High, they played Red River. They got to a state title, Jared Olson's club. They were unable to get it done. 92, they won the whole thing, but they were relevant. They were there in the TV round every year, every other. Here comes Murphy into the offensive zone. Murphy draws a penalty. It's a delayed call coming. Odie Nelson's off. Here's a backhander, a drive, and a save. Johnson gobbles it up. Seems like the West region back to the relevant side of things. The whole point of the conversation here. To the box, so the 2-minute high sticking call will be the Central defender, number 3, Hunter Moreland. 6'2", $195. He's a senior. You remember the name Casey Moreland. He may be one of the best goaltenders to ever play in North Dakota high school hockey. He played for Central. Played some pro hockey after that as well. Power plays back out for Minot High. They have 1:50 on the man advantage. They trail 5-0. Shots are 29-6 Central. Goals tonight from the Central Knights from Adolski, Hansen, Kanta, Bjorgi, Brisky. Here comes Stenberg. He wants his name on the score sheet. He's for the Magi. Tries to get it in front of the net. Couldn't. Fired right back out to center. The Knights go for a change. Bergrud on the near side wall. Couldn't get a handle on it. Now off to Stenberg, and Stenberg's in, but they're offsides. Brock Bergrud not having the best night in his Minot High career. The pace of play when you play a team like Grand Forks Central just seems to be turned up just a little bit. That notch moved up just a little bit higher when you play teams like Red River, Central. Get into those Bismarck High games too. A lot of times the tempo, those ones get a little carried away. Odie Nelson was out of the net to play it, wandered way out, had the puck taken away there from Zach Murphy. Minot High gets it back with the help of Hyde, and now it's Vial back through center. Here comes Deal into the offensive zone. Deal has it, takes it down blocker side. Deal throws it in front of the net. Hit traffic there, puck taken away by the Knights. Vial battling for it here on the near side wing, but it's Central that takes it and launches it all the way down. Adam Arnold on the 200-foot clear. 43 seconds to play here on the power play for Minot High, their second power play of the night. 13-19 to play in the third. Down by 5 are the Magi. Handling at the point. The drive comes in. That one from the line from Broughton. Pad save there from Johnson. Bergrud can't hold it in at the line. He gets beat on the foot race back the other way. And handling down on the near side corners, Kyler Brisky for Central. He lost a handle on it. Now it's Broughton that takes it back in his own territory and cycles back behind Odie Nelson. Hitting the brakes, Broughton. 8 seconds on the power play. Pushed up to center. Here's Fillion. He's into the offensive zone. Drop back for Murphy. Knights are at full strength. Sent in front of the net. No one home. Broughton's going to have it at the line. Chips it off the wall. Back over to Murphy, top of the circle. Sends it down. Now Fillion back up to the point. Hurts across the blue line with it. Sends it in. Went wide of Johnson on the blocker side. Puck comes out to center ice and rolls all the way down. Back behind Odin Nelson. Is it an icing? It is. 12 minutes, 21 seconds to play in the third. Central up 5-0. Special thanks to all those sponsors that make Magicians Hockey possible for another year of radio broadcasts. Big thank you to all them that continue their support of Magi Hockey. Puck is tied up on the blocker side corner. Caleb Johnson, the Central goalkeeper. 12 minutes, 10 seconds to play now in the third period. Odie Nelson's out of the net to play it. Whistles it right back up through center. Knights defenders were out there. They just dump it right back in and let their team touch up on the onside. Hertz in the far corner. Lost it. Then to Nelson. Hertz gives it away again. Comes back onto the tape in front of the net. We're working down below the goal now is Wagstrand. Comes back away to the near side wing, trying to move it ahead forward. Comes to Wagstrand again. Lawson body down underneath the goal line. Walks it out in front of the net, wide open. Here's a drive, top shelf. They score again as Brandon Holt went to Grandma's cookie jar and takes 2 macadamia nut and a chocolate chip at 6-0. The time is running now inside the Pepsi rink. Plays like that a lot of times that can really frustrate a coaching staff. Guys like Bennett, Grubb, Willert. When you have an opportunity just to hammer that puck, if you don't have any other options at that point, to just hammer that puck around the end wall, take it and fire it out of there. Get rid of it. They didn't do that. Came right to Holt and he fired it top corner.
Skater number 14, Cole Wiggestram. That's 18 from.
There you hear the call from Danny Sem. Face-off will be on the blocker side of Odin Nelson. 6-0 Knights. Run clock down unless the Magi can break the shutout here for Caleb Johnson. Back to the far point. Another wrister coming in. Wide Odie on the blocker side, comes away to Abrahamson, and Abrahamson turns on the Jets up through center. He's in over the line, but Plemmel stepped in before him. Offsides was the call. The faceoff will come back in front of the Central bench. Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show tonight. We'll hear from Jordan Willard. His thoughts after this one here tonight. I don't know if he liked that idea of going to B-dubs instead of J.O. Beers instead. He'll have to get over it. That's where we're going. Buffalo Wild Wings, the new postgame headquarters for Minot High Magicians hockey. Bringing you the postgame show again here tonight. Special thanks to Buffalo Wild Wings. Proud supporter of the Minot community. And Magi hockey. Offsides on the Magicians with 9:27 ticking away here in the third period. New goaltender coming in for Central. Caleb Johnson's night is going to be done. And into the game for the Knights comes the goaltender that played in the JV game. He was perfect in the JV game. I believe that's Nick Panino. No, it's Aaron Nielsen. Nielsen, the left-handed goalkeeper, comes in to close this one out for Grand Forks Central. Can they share the shutout here this afternoon? Well, the Magi would sure hope to think otherwise, but it's been all Central. Shots are 30-8. 6-0 Knights. Odie Nelson's had a good game, though, however. Yeah, he's given up 6, but he's been hung out to dry. The clothesline in the backyard. Here's another one. Shot on goal. Nelson gobbles it up. He'll hang tight to it. 8:25 ticks away. New unit comes out for the Magi. Tony Swearingen not with us tonight, by the way. Tony is off coaching Bantam hockey for Minot. He's out of state, I believe. I think they're in Minnesota. Maybe they're in Grand Forks. I don't remember where they were, but Tony will join us coming up. Handful of the games this year here on 1390 KRRZ. Center ice, here come the Knights. They push forward into the offensive zone right in front of Odin Nelson. Puck taken away there by Fillion. Now Plemmel moved it up to center ice. That was Davis, rather. He was upended on the play. Puck comes back into Knights' possession in front of their goaltender, and they work it away to the near side wall. Davis trying to hold it in. Comes up to the point. Haberman sends it back underneath. Here's Fillion a drive. That one's stopped by the goalkeeper, Nielsen, and the puck comes back out to center. 7:22 to play in the third. Grand Forks Central putting it to the Magi this afternoon. 6-0 the score. As it's taken away on the near side wall by Peterson. Makes the move. Out of the zone he comes. He's got Murphy with him. Peterson now over the blue line. Steps in with it. Peterson 1-on-4. And Peterson is crushed as he entered the zone. Big hit there from Wygstrand. You hear the Central bench come alive. Wygstrand back in, turns, fires. Nelson makes a save. Loose puck in front of the blue paint. Went straight up in the air and came down. Puck was batted to the corner. Now comes out to center ice. The Magi have a 3-on-3 rush back in with an Abrahamson center slot. He lost a handle on it. Puck gets past Hertz. He's on the prowl back to retrieve in his own territory. Skates fast to get it back behind the net. Moved it to his partner on the near side. That's Hine. Miscue there, but the Magi away with it. Abrahamson out to center. Tried to move it away to Opposna into the offensive zone. No one home for the Magi. The Knights have control of it again on the far side wing. Real sloppy hockey game tonight for Minot High on the offensive side of the puck and in their D zone as well. Here's a drive coming in. Stick save from Odin Nelson. Back behind the net. Knights working away with Kanta. He's got one tonight. This is Murphy. Make it Cole Hansen. Drop down to Murphy. Comes away now to Abrahamson. He just gives it to a Knight in the corner, and that's Zach Murphy. Abrahamson's got it again, trying to clear. Couldn't. Comes back up to the blue line. Comes away here to Plemmel with a backhand. Plemmel just sends it all the way down. There's an icing. 5:40 to play here in the third. 6-0 Grand Forks Central. Some may disagree, but it just looks like maybe the Magi have already punched the time clock out of this one. They're ready to get out of here. Got to finish her off, boys. Crossbar. Rowdy Piper, as old Larry McFall would say. That puck came off the draw to Will Howard, and he twos it off the goalpost. Above the blocker of Owen Nelson. Stays out of the net, 6-0. Knights still with the lead. Minot High against Mandan Tuesday night to open conference play. Join us for the Planet Pizza pregame show on that one. Minot High seeing if they can't get their first win Tuesday night. Not happening tonight. Central leads 6-0. They're like a bear trap in the neutral zone. Minot High hasn't been able to even hardly get down there. They've only mustered up 9 shots on goal tonight compared to the 33 from Central. Knights have control, but it's Murphy on the near side wall, back underneath the goal line. Glove side of Odin Nelson, threw it in front of the net, no one home, back up to the point. Colin takes it and sends it back in behind Nelson. Odie waits for it now as it comes back away to Murphy, spins away from a check, Broughton on top of him, comes back away to the point, Kanta. He skates backwards, he's hit by Hunter Culp, centered in front, no one home. Minot High trying to clear the zone with Culp, he does, up to Bergrud, and Bergrud is in over the blue line. Bergrud goes to the top of the circle, far side. Bergrud has a hit down low, gets into Colin. Bergrud ends up on his knees. Back at the point, Hertz has it, sends it in, and the stop is made by Nielsen. 3:40 to play here in the third period. 6-0, Grand Forks Central has the lead. Face-off in their defensive territory. Stenberg's line out for the Magi with Deal and Vile. This would be their A unit, if you will. Here's Vile in front of the net, fired it just wide on the opportunity. Look at a kid like Jake Vile. He had a pretty good year last year for the Magi. Vile mustered up total of 47 points. He has a shot on goal here. Make that Stenberg. Stenberg shot it into the glove. Nielsen hangs tight to it. Vile had 47 points, but I think a big reason why was probably Easton Bennett on his line with 61. And guys like Colby Ends, Patrick Hine on the back end. Heard Jason Bennett say it's got to be by committee this year. There isn't going to be a standalone superstar, if you will. Vile could be that guy. Not seen it out of him here tonight. Knights back in. It's a 2-on-1. Sent in front, give and go, loose in front of the net. They crash into Odie Nelson, the goaltender. Vile having a pushing match there with number 9. That's Brisky, who's still on top of Odin Nelson. 2:10 to play here in the third, 6-0. Central still leading. Faceoff will come on Odin's blocker side. Murphy back out for the Magi, along with Fillion. On the draw, they've got Brent Davis with them. Broughton's back at the point. Knights with control and drive towards the net. Murphy trying to sweep it out of the zone. Only one hand on the stick. He was stick checked on the play, and the puck comes back underneath the goal of Nelson. Glove side, bottom of the circle. Knights with control. They send it in front of the net, wide open. Back door, drive, a save. Odie Nelson makes stop number 31 of the night. In with it, walking out, drop to the bottom of the circle on the near side. Knights with control again. They're going to work it around with Murphy once more. Tied up in the corner. Back away to Broughton, who handles here, and Broughton starts the rush up to center. Broughton pushes away now to Davis. 1 minute, 7 seconds to play in regulation. We'll hear Danny Sem in just a moment. Here comes Dan Sem.
1 minute to play, 1 minute.
Thank you. At center ice, Patrick Hyde gets into Lawson body, but at the other end, it's a drive coming in and a goal that is fired home by Will Howard, 7-0. Central making Minot High look goofy this afternoon. The Knights lead 7-0 with 35 seconds to play on the runtime clock. This one all but over. Face off at center ice with Abrahamson and Lawson Body.
Grand Forks scoring summary at 16:25 of the third. Even strength. Skater number 16, Will Howard. Assisted on the play by
Abrahamson back in with the 10 seconds of the contest.
At 16 from
Puck flipped up to center.
16:25 of the third.
That's going to do it. Here's the final horn. Minot High loses the opener 7-0. Wow, talk about a beatdown here this afternoon. Final shots are 35-11. And the Magi fall 7-0. We'll have the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show coming up right around the corner. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surge Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love space. Planet Pizza.
Consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's time for the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show. Let's go back to the press box. For all of the highlights, stats, and analysis, once again, here is Nick Holberg.
3 goals the difference between this year's home opener and last year's road opener for the Magi. It's the Central Knights that, in the first game of the year for the past 2 seasons, have outscored the Magicians 17-0. Another one here tonight. 7-0 the final score. Minot High falls to Grand Forks Central. Assistant coach of the Magi, Jordan Willert, in the booth with us now. We'll talk to coach so we can get back down to the locker room here in just a moment. Jordan, let's talk about the hockey game tonight. Obviously 7-0, not the way you want it to go. Shots on goal in this one are 35-11 when it's all said and done. Hard question here, but what is the biggest takeaway that you have from this game tonight on the positive side, and what's the major thing that comes to mind that needs to be addressed and worked on before Mandan on Tuesday on a negative side?
Well, you got to give Central a lot of credit. I think they got a lot of, hockey players over there. We kind of talked about that. They got kids that play hockey, 24/7, 365. We have some kids that, sometimes in the summer do some other things, which is perfectly fine, but we need to work into game shape. And we can take care of that on the ice at practice and stuff like that. I think, the main thing, though, is we need to compete. There's just, around the ice, certain areas of the ice, there is some compete, but then other areas, there's just not compete. And, I think, hopefully some seniors or some older guys, take a little onus in some things and, want the team to play with some pride and, have a little bit more heart and so, just little things like that. Little plays here or there, become big plays, and, there's just some small things that need to get better, but they're big things in the grand scheme of a hockey game.
So it's fair to say when I made the call with about 6 minutes left in the hockey game that just looked like we had maybe punched our time clock and we're checking out. That would be a fair statement tonight.
Yeah, and we tried to talk about that on the bench. Who's going to show a little bit of care here? Who's going to show a little bit of want? And, it's tough. You got young kids, down 7-0. You only got 9 shots on net probably at that point. It's tough. That happens, but that's something that, us as coaches are working on. That's a culture we don't want around our program. We want kids that are relentless, and we want kids that are going to work hard all the time. Like I said, we can work on making that better.
Odie Nelson tonight has 35 shots on the shot on goal clock here at Mason Arena. I think there might have been more than 35 tonight against Odie Nelson. Great Odie tonight on an A to F scale. I thought Odie was your best player tonight, hands down, and he made some saves when he had to. He does give up 7, but wasn't any fault of Odie's tonight.
Yeah, no, I thought Odin played well. He had a really good state tournament last year, and I know he put in some work this summer, and like you said, it was breakdowns in front of him and stuff like that. I think everybody on our team doesn't deserve too high of a grade. I think it's a team thing, and I think defense and pucks going into your net aren't just on any goaltender. They're not on any defenseman. We're a collective unit. The forwards are thrown into that, and I just think we need to get better.
Tuesday night against Mandan, what do you expect are your Magi and region opening play and conference play Tuesday night?
Well, I just hope there's more work, more will, more want to get things done. You can't just hope things are going to happen and hope for good things. You have to make good things happen, and good things happen with hard work. So, back to the grind on Monday. Day off for the boys tomorrow, and maybe reminisce on some things. But then it's back to work, and big tilt. Mandan comes here. It's nice that we're not going to Mandan this year. It's nice that it's here, but I think there needs to be some excitement, some enthusiasm, something, some sort of spark. Somebody needs to spark us. We need to find a kid that's going to be the spark this year, and there's no Easton Bennett's or Colby Enns around to do that for us anymore, so somebody else is going to have to do it.
Sure appreciate your time here this afternoon. I know it's a tough one, 7-0. Grand Forks gets the win this afternoon. That's Jordan Willard, the assistant coach of Minot High. We'll see you at Buffalo Wild Wings.
All right, thanks, Nick.
That's Jordan Willard, the assistant coach of the Magi. Here's the recap of the hockey game tonight. 7-0's the final. Central gets the win in this one, and they started early, and they continued off at 1:37, and it was Mitch Adelsky from Lawson Body and Brisky. Then in 11:16, it was Cole Hansen from Zach Murphy. That was a nice play for Murphy. He was on his knees, threw it to the front of the net, and then it was tucked home by Hansen. Into the second period we went after the shots were 13-1 in the first. They were 12-4 in the second. They were 11-3 in the third. There's their shots on goal breakdown. Can't happen for Minot High. They need to find a way to turn that ice a bit more. Here's why. At 4:09, it was Lucas Canta that scored. He was assisted by Murphy and Cole Hansen. Then Hunter Bjorgi from Parker Stroh at 6:01. Then at 8:22, it was Kyler Brisky from Parker Stroh and Hendrickson. Then at 5:28 of the third period, 2 more goals were scored. Brandon Holt with the first one. Lawson Body and Weigstrand had the assist on the first one. Will Howard scored at 16:25. Lawson Body assisted on that one as well. So a nice night tonight for Kyler Brisky. Multiple point night for him. Canta had multiple points tonight. Stroh had multiple points. Hansen did as well. Zach Murphy did as well. Howard had a nice night as well. Split shutout for Nielsen and Caleb Johnson. Odie Nelson comes up with 29 and 36 stops in the hockey game for the Magi. This is the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wings, Beer, Sports. They truly are the place to catch all the games or the lunch menu. All sorts of good stuff at Buffalo Wild Wings. We appreciate them here in Minot, located on South Broadway. They also have a location in Williston, one in Dickinson. Of course, Bismarck as well, Grand Forks. They're all over the place. Buffalo Wild Wings brings you the postgame show here tonight. When we come back to the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show, we've got the duties of picking our stars of the game. And if you're a Magi fan tonight, you might not be impressed with who we come up with. They're all Grand Forks Central guys after a 7-0 win. The Knights win this one in fashion. 35-11 shots on goal, 7-0 the final. Minot High falls to 0-1. The Knights improved to 1-0 to start the year. When we come back to the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show, our Minot's finest collision center stars of the game, this is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS Store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Planet Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. 3 when supper time's a crunch. 2 T-minus now it's time 1 for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love Planet Pizza.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This broadcast presentation of Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surge Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Vivetto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.
Seven nothing's the final tonight. Minot High gets spanked by Grand Forks Central. This is the Buffalo Wild Wings post-game show. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wings, Beer, Sports. The only place to catch the game. Check out the Buffalo Wild Wings lunch menu, also located on South Broadway here in Minot. Buffalo Wild Wings, a great place to find yourself after any Minot High Magicians Athletics event. Great place to find yourself on any given day. It's Buffalo Wild Wings, the post-game show headquarters after a 7-0 loss tonight. Kind of a hard one for the Magi. They come out and have some high expectations and high hopes here in 2017-2018. And Grand Forks Central shows what they've got to offer, being ranked the #1 team in the state of North Dakota. Again, goals tonight from Adolski, Hansen, Kanta, Bjorgi, Brisky, Holt, Howard. How about that? You know how deep Grand Forks Central is when you got 7 different goal scorers in the hockey game here tonight. Time for our Minot's Finest Collision Center stars of the game. Minot's Finest Collision Center. At Minot's Finest Collision Center, we ensure the proper procedures are followed to repair your vehicle so that safety features are maintained to keep you and your family safe. We're more than an auto body repair shop. We are Minot's Finest, 839-0989. All Grand Forks Central tonight on the Minot's Finest list. And here's who they are. Cole Hansen had 1 goal, 1 assist tonight. He's going to be my 3rd star of the game. Zach Murphy, 2 assists tonight. He was in on all sorts of plays tonight. Murphy and Hansen 1 and 2. William Lawson Bonnie was the game point leader. He had 3 assists tonight. Didn't get on the score sheet in the goal column, but he did on the assist column 3 times. He assisted on the 1st, the 6th, and the 7th goals tonight. Lawson Bonnie, our star of the game, brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center. Central improves to 1-0. Minot High falls to 0-1. Minot High against Mandan on Tuesday night. That broadcast will be brought to you here on 1390 KRRZ, presented by Pro Style Production. We'll have the pregame for you, brought to you by Planet Pizza. Game time is 7:30. Pregame show scheduled for 7:10. Off to Devil's Lake on Thursday. 7 o'clock start in Devil's Lake on Thursday night. So a full week of Minot High Magicians hockey coming up around the corner. Special thanks to Grant Paranika for stopping by tonight in the conversation with the Grand Forks Central head coach. We sure appreciate Jordan Willard's time and Jason Bennett's time as well. Minot High falls tonight. 7-0 is the final. We're back into region play to start the season on Tuesday evening. Join us then. Minot High Magicians Hockey will be live on 1390 KRRZ. Again, brought to you by ProStyleProduction.com. Final score tonight. It's Grand Forks Central cruising to the 7-0 win. This has been a presentation of Pro Style Production. Until next time and Tuesday night, please have a good night. Good night, and God bless.
It's time for the Buffalo Wild Wings Minot High Hockey is brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Tecta America Dakotas, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Surge Valley Dental, Cadova Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, First International Bank, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Minot Hockey Boosters, Buffalo Wild Wings, IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Fibeto Orthodontics, Elevation, Pro Style Production DJ Services, the UPS Store, Bremer Bank, and Planet Pizza.